What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. In today's video, we're going to run through some recent Casper news. We're going to provide a few resources that are really good for learning. We're also going to share a few clips from recent Casper developer community calls, going over the Casper fee elimination model, and then also play about a 6 or 8 minute clip of Meta Parlikar, Casper Lab CTO. Giving some really good information about Casper 2.0, keep in mind that Casper the token is used as transactional utilization, so you have to lock this up to process transactions. And she explains in this video, as your application scales up and it's processing more and more transactions, you have to acquire more Casper tokens. And they touch on Casper fees, so if the Casper token went up 10x in value, it would be fine, but if it went up 100x in value, the fees would be a lot more. So obviously, Casper is upgradable, it's had multiple upgrades already, so it's really important to remember that it's designed to be future-proof and evolve as necessary, and we have to get there first. So for me, before I even worry about what the Casper fees would be like at $1 plus or a 100x at $3, we have to see some price action first. So Casper today is sub 3 cents until we actually see us closing that 7-cent fair value gap and officially breaking out of accumulation. I'm not really excited. Alright, so let's get into some news. First up, Casper Labs shared this. They sat down with OpenEXO. This is a very big partner in the supply chain space, partner with Siemens, and they did announce a free enterprise blockchain course. So I posted this on X with instructions for anybody interested. So I'll link this in the pinned comment in the YouTube video description for anybody interested. You just create a free account, you go to the Learning tab and scroll down to access the enterprise blockchain course. So I'll be starting this shortly when I can. We have a couple hours of content and everything you'll learn in the course and a bunch of video modules. Next up, we also have Casper Network over at Consensus for 2024, keeping tabs on any updates for a bunch of networks. We also have shared by Holborn Security. They have completed the smart contract security assessment for the Casper US dollar stablecoin on Casper Network, backed by Sarson Funds. So if you want to check this out, this was shared on Twitter and it's available right on Holborn's website going over the security assessment. We also have Casper Labs hosting an upcoming webinar establishing AI governance to meet compliance challenges. This is taking place on June 13th for anybody interested. We have Make right here sharing Casper shopping. So we have Casper Cashback. You can start shopping now and earning Casper Cashback on your purchases right in your wallet. So we've gone over this before depending on where you're at geographically, but we can see Banana Republic, Gap, Ace Hardware, NordVPN. And it seems like they're expanding into different categories for electronics, fashion, gifting, software, etc. I saw Burrito Wallet sharing this. You can stake Casper on the Burrito Wallet and get a chance to win a Hyundai Casper car. The top staker will win a Hyundai based on their staking score. And we know that Casper Network is a block sponsor for Consensus 2024, and the last day is tomorrow, taking place in Austin, Texas. Casper Wallet also shared that they have full ledger support on Chrome and Edge for the Casper Wallet on desktop. Casper Wallet also touching on why you need a Casper name token, so we'll go over a few of these features. You can learn more at CSPR.name. Casper name will allow users and organizations to register Web3 specific digital identities in the form of name tokens on Casper Network. So Michael.Casper to be your Web3 identity in a bunch of different ecosystems. One simple address for hundreds of different blockchains, and you can change wallets without needing to update the address with exchanges, customers, etc. And this can protect yourself from wallet-specific attacks, like address poisoning attacks. For those that are familiar, maybe you have Ledger and you're seeing a bunch of microtransactions being deposited into your wallet. This can protect against clipboard hijacking, interface spooking attacks, and user error typing out the address. So pretty cool, I'll keep tabs on that. Alright, we have a few more things to go over. Really, the biggest focus, it seems, from Casper is Prove AI in tandem with IBM and watsonx, so I'm waiting for this to launch along with Casper 2.0. We can also refer to the latest community call recap with a blog post going over the most relevant information, going over ODRA, the new smart contract standard, and going over Condor, and we'll play some clips going over Condor specifically. Ledger support, other Casper Live enhancements, and developer tools. So I'm going to finish up today's video with a few must-listen clips from Meta Parlikar, the CTO of Casper Labs, during the recent Casper developer community call. It should answer a bunch of questions, and I am very much looking forward to the Condor upgrade, and then along with that, also the gas fee estimates, the calculations, so that we can at least entertain some type of model. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and huge thank you to all that hit the like button and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.
Could you repeat the question there real quickly?
So to have the price or the gas price or however you call it there more predictable, like imagine a project that is generating a bunch of transactions per day, a contract that is generating a bunch of transactions per day, and with the increase of the token price, how would that play out with the transaction costs? If
Right.
that would
Right, that's right. So this is a feature in Condor, and we are calling it. So I have to remember what the name is. Can someone refresh my memory on the name? Because I have the intuition name is coming up, but that's not what we're using from a marketing perspective. But we're basically eliminating gas fees in terms of the net cost to the developer. So you can think of it as your fee purse will the CSPR would be locked in protocol for a duration of time for security purposes, and then it will return to your purse by the protocol. And so you can imagine in a world where you, like any other web application, you understand what your throughput or your transactional requirements are going to be, right? So everybody has to provision infrastructure or infrastructure costs to support the number of usage, the amount of usage you're having. And the blockchain isn't any different, right? So you think, okay, I'm going to get, maybe 1,000 transactions per day. It's a smart contract call, and there's a fixed price in terms of CSPR for a block slot, right? So I get a slot in the block. It costs me 50 CSPR. I'm going to do 1,000 transactions a day. And the lock duration, let's say, is going to be 2 weeks. Right. So you just multiply it out. So the transaction you send on day 1 will come back to you. The gas fees will come back to you on day 14, and then you can reuse it. And so what this enables smart contract authors to do is really, hold that CSPR as a transactional utilization, like reuse it over and over and over again. And as your application scales, you will need to acquire new CSPR. You'll have to acquire it at a higher price, but you're not spending it. You're not burning it in the traditional way. You're holding it. And if you think about in terms of the semantics of the protocol, well, the Casper protocol will give you certain types of value for holding and locking CSPR. You can hold and lock the CSPR and be a consensus participant, and the protocol will pay you out staking rewards. Or you can hold and use CSPR to process transactions in exchange for locking your CSPR in protocol. So this is how the protocol gives you value. In one case, you're getting value back in terms of staking rewards. In the other case, you're getting value back in terms of processing a transaction and committing that transaction to global state. But in both cases, it's a CSPR lock. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I get it. I still have some doubts in how that would play out in a larger scale, but yeah, in terms of data storage and that must have some cost associated to it. So I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah. With data storage, and I have to go back and check what the gas cost table looks like. I believe data storage you will have to pay, just because we cannot allow that to be an attack vector, right? Like we just don't want people to abuse data storage in that way. So I suspect data storage will still have a real cost associated with it. Like if you want to store a PDF or something crazy like that, that's still going to cost you money, right? Like cost you CSPR. But for all other intents purposes, we wanted to stabilize the cost of transactions. And so we thought, one of the ways to stabilize it is like at the cost of money. So it stabilizes, like in a naive way, you can say zero. In a more complex way, you say, well, there's a small opportunity cost for otherwise having staked to the CSPR. That's my real cost for the transactions.
Yeah, I think it's clear. So there's still work being done about this, and it's not, everything is not defined yet, right?
The mechanics are defined. So the way Casper works is the mechanics are defined in code, but the configuration, the mechanism and the details around how much CSPR, what the duration of the lock period is, the price for all the slots, that is all configured and tunable. That's one of the principles of how we have architected the protocol, in that, the mechanics are in code, the actual, how things work, but then the fine tuning of the protocol, that all happens within the chain specification. And it's a really important point to note that the validators and the community really do own the protocol, because the chain specification is clear text, right? You don't need to know the inner workings of the source code to make a material and significant change to the protocol. Even in the gas mechanisms, we have 3 mechanisms defined. We have the current mechanism, we have a burn mechanism, and we have the new mechanism. And all 3 of those are defined in the chain specification. So if the community decides they want to go to a full gas fee burn, they can do that through a trivial change if the validators decide that's how they want to go, right? So much of the features of the protocol and the really important governance related items are all managed via the chain specification. And that's very intentional, because we want it to be owned by the community and decentralized by the community.
So we will be able to turn on this mechanism that locks gas, and if we don't like it, we can just turn it off.
Yep. You can turn it off, you can change it, you can switch to burn, you can change the interest rate. I mean, you can change the seigniorage rate, it's in the chain spec. The block times, the number of validators, the minimum delegation amount, like all the delegator limit, everything is in the chain specification, and the make team and others know how to propose a release. So we at Casper Labs really don't control the network at all. It's all in the chain specification. It's a clear text file.
0.2 Casper, 0.7, sometimes 1.5. So these are this is very cheap so far, because Casper is 3 cents. And even if the price goes 10 times, it's still cheaper than Ethereum.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But if it goes 100 times, then it's not trivial anymore, the value. But anyways.
Champagne problems.
Yes.
That's what I call those.
Let's hope so.
Let's get there first. But the idea really was with this gas mechanism, and Matt Doty, who was one of the guys from Ethereum who actually designed the gas market, was the one that really started talking to me about this a couple of years ago. And Matt Doty's long-term desire, as well as mine, was to decouple, right, the value, the price of the token from the price of a transaction. And this mechanism of where you reuse the CSPR, right, is a way we figured out to maintain the security of the network for denial of service and infinite loop, because that's all gas really does, as well as, kind of streamline the use.
If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.